Microsoft announced in the last year that they will be creating a streaming device.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a little bit more information on that. So the streaming device can be plugged into a TV or monitor. That's not really news, but it can be plugged into a TV or monitor and will have either a stick or puck design, according to GamesBeat. So what we can expect is a form factor similar to either an Amazon Fire TV stick
Mm-hmm.
or a Google Chromecast. Probably a similar form factor to either of those. Alongside the streaming device itself, Microsoft has teamed with Samsung to create an Xbox app for specifically Samsung smart TVs, which is kind of an interesting move. Kind of not really sure how I feel about it if Samsung's going to be exclusively like the only one who can have that app on their smart TV,
The only
but
one that can play
uh,
the game.
yeah, I'll come back to that. But both the streaming device and the app are expected to hit market within the next 12 months. The streaming device is expected to function as a media streaming device like a Fire Stick or a Chromecast, alongside its core function of streaming games via Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Xbox's game streaming service.
Yeah.
They're really trying to make that a bit more mainstream. Um, and that is just the main function of the device. It would be, I guess, a console alternative, which I think is awesome because a lot of the stuff on consoles anyway is already diskless. You don't really need all that hardware when Microsoft has tons of hardware in a server that you could essentially rent out through Game Pass Ultimate. So game streaming, I think, is a big part of gaming's future.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can price this in such a way that, like the cheap Xbox now is the one I have, which was $299. If they could make this
Unscalped.
unscalped, yeah, that one didn't really get scalped too much.
Yeah.
And if they make this like $149 for the stick and it can play all these games, and maybe they throw in a 6-month or 12-month of Game Pass Ultimate for free,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be pretty compelling as a console alternative. There's certain things like I'm mostly a PC gamer, but there are certain games or certain experiences you can only get with a console.
Yeah.
And that basically ends up being split screen or game devs just write out certain parts of a game when they port it to PC for some reason.
There's also
But
like multiplayer on a console that you really can't reproduce on a PC.
right, I agree. So if this could be like a really low entry price into essentially console gaming,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it, honestly. Going back to that Samsung Smart app or the Xbox app being on Samsung Smart TVs, not really sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure. But
As long as they don't charge too much for the subscription, I suppose.
yeah, if the TV is like still competitively priced, fine. But I don't think most people are going to buy a TV for that function. It might be a perk.
Oh, your remote stopped working because you stopped paying the $5 a month fee.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but beyond that, I'm curious to see what happens with it. I kind of welcome it just as a trial to see how people respond to it. Really curious to see if, like I've definitely said it in previous streams. Microsoft doesn't care as much anymore whether or not you buy a console. They want you to be buying these subscriptions. So if they're losing $150 on consoles, they're getting that back definitely within the first year of
Yeah.
subscriptions,
Mm-hmm.
and then month over month, it's all profit.
Well, one thing about subscriptions too is it's very rare. Like especially kids, right? It's very rare for there to be one subscription, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's multiple people, especially if there's multiple children, or dad has a family plan. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare for there just to be one subscription of one thing. So, I mean, they got a pretty good business plan.
Yeah, honestly, it makes a lot of sense if you're a real gamer, I think, unless you're a collector of titles. But with mostly all titles being digital now, the subscription model, as long as it has what you actually want to play, which it's most of the new, like the most current and popular titles, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I, I don't like subscriptions for like a kid that doesn't have a lot of money. Like, this might not be a bad value, like actually, because games are expensive, right? They're like what, $50 to $70 a piece these days. So for
Plus
Xbox,
DLCs.
yeah, plus DLCs. So if they just get a Xbox Game Pass for what is it, $9, $15 a month, and you pay 200, $300 for a console, I mean that's like a way
I think
better.
you need the ultimate. I think you need the ultimate for certain things.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that's 20 a month. I'd have to double check that, but I still agree with you. If you're buying one game for $70, that's like what? That's 3.5 months of Game Pass Ultimate where you can play hundreds, if not thousands, of titles.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I kind of I put my Game Pass down to the pleb version. I used to have Ultimate, but I really wasn't using it. So
I haven't been playing as much. I don't have an. Yeah, I think it's free, right?
I don't think it's free anymore.
Oh, okay. I might have like a not. I might just not have it then. The Game Pass for PC, which is a little bit different, but
I think it's like $9 a month, $9.99 or something like that.
it's really, in my opinion, at even the basic version, in my opinion, is hard to beat.